10 Philosophies of Wise People. Read to see why you can't live an easy life while still constantly advancing in your career. Smart people always know how to master everything they do, and here are 10 sayings that help them do that. Read and see how many of them you can do. 1. If no one wants to do it, I will do it. In a group or a team, when faced with a challenging task, most people will choose to step back and push it to someone else because they are afraid they will not be able to complete it. However, they do not know that behind such situations are valuable opportunities to learn, practice, and develop. Therefore, when you are faced with a complex task like a project at work that no one wants to do, be the first to volunteer to take on that task. It will help you learn many things that you never knew, as well as help you discover the skills that are hidden inside you. 2. It's not that bad. Think back. How many times have you been in a completely unfamiliar situation, and then your mind was filled with thoughts of the worst-case scenario? Have those fears ever actually happened? The answer is almost certainly no, because the worst things will never happen the way you think. In this life, you cannot avoid having to face many problems that arise. But remember one thing, things are not as terrible and scary as we think. Furthermore, we can also choose how we react when faced with those problems. Therefore, no matter what the situation. 3. I won't get everything done today, but at least I have to start. Procrastination is a disease that many of us are suffering from, and one of the main symptoms is the excuses we tell ourselves to avoid working on the plan we have outlined. You need to understand that the plans we make will be worthless if you don't execute them, no matter how carefully you have made them. To get rid of this disease of procrastination, you should start doing small parts of the work, or start as soon as you think of it. This will give you more motivation to easily continue and complete the work you have set out to do. 4. I have to talk less and do more. Perhaps we have all met people who like to brag about their work and achievements, because they think that doing so will help them impress those around them. However, that usually doesn't happen because actions done in silence are often more valued and appreciated. So whatever you do, always try to focus on completing that job in the best way possible. At the same time, never let yourself be distracted by false glories, because they will only end up confusing you on the road to success. 5. I can't depend on other people's opinions. Advice from others can help us make decisions easier. But in the end, your opinion is still the most important, because we are the only ones responsible for our lives, and we also suffer the consequences of our actions. Therefore, when you encounter something, don't be afraid or unable to make a decision and frantically seek advice from others. Instead, give yourself a few hours or days to find a solution that works for you. Other people's opinions are sometimes quite important. 6. I have to prove myself. Many times, when people say that we can't do something, a desire suddenly ignites in our hearts to prove them completely wrong. This may sound too childish, but the lack of trust from others is actually a great motivation for us to push ourselves and prove that we can overcome the challenge. So, next time, when people around you express doubts about your abilities, instead of getting angry, turn that emotion into energy to complete what you want in the best way. 7. The products I create may not be perfect, but to me, they are the best products. Many of us always put ourselves in a race towards perfection, wanting the final product to be the most perfect in everything we do. But in fact, this not only consumes your energy and adds stress, but also contributes to bringing you closer to failure. Therefore, when starting a job, focus and try your best to complete it as well as possible. Do not put too much emphasis on the definition of perfection. By doing this, you will be able to always complete the job excellently and also reduce a lot of pressure on yourself. 8. I will be more successful next time. Perhaps when we cannot do something that we thought we could, each of us will feel uncomfortable. If you are unlucky enough to fall into that situation, do not be discouraged and give up. Instead, write down what you have done in a notebook and review the events in your head. That way, you will know where you made mistakes so that you will know what you should improve next time and what you should not do. 9. I should thank them for what they have done for me. In this life, we come into contact with many people and sometimes receive help from them. Therefore, we should know how to thank the people around us for what they have done for us. When you work in a group or receive help from others, even with very small things, send them a sincere thank you. Through this, you show the people around you that you appreciate their help, as well as their meaning in your life. 10. The harder I try, the more I will achieve. In a field where we have natural talent, we tend to achieve success more easily because we know what we need to do from a young age. However, in a field where we do not have natural talent, we have to work harder and harder to be able to reach success. This is an obvious thing and a good opportunity for you to learn, so never let it discourage you. If you do not have natural talent, practice a lot. This will help you do things you never thought of. Always remember, the more you try to do something, the better you will do it. At the same time, the new knowledge that you can pass on to others is also more and more practical.